What's going on, guys? Matt over here with Lethal Garage, and we are here with something special today. It's SEMA 2017. 6LE Designs has rolled out this amazing new vehicle, brought back literally from the dead. We thought it was gone forever, but Mark at 6LE said, nah, he's a huge IROC fan. He wanted to do something special. He did it with the 6th gen. I got Mark here with me today. We're gonna check out this beautiful car in a quick glance. This is the all-new IROC-Z. This is the red letter edition. He's going to offer it in 2 different packages and then also scale up the power from there. No word on pricing quite yet. I'll let Mark speak to that, but it's got a glass roof, all new body kit on it. I mean, it's not just a body kit, it's wheels, it's fenders, it's everything. I'm going to let Mark go through all the details because I'm not doing it justice right now. And I got Mark right here. How's it going, Mark?
How you guys doing?
And if you can, tell us what inspired you. Talk about the car. Let's just get all into this thing.
So, as a lot of Camaro owners are, I'm a huge fan of the IROCs. Back in high school, my fondest memories of high school are actually not going to high school, but skipping class in my buddy's IROC-Z. And I wanted to build a car that just kind of epitomized what I loved about the IROC, because it's my money. So if you guys want to buy it, you can. If you don't, I like the car. But for me, it was just the idea of, it was a badass car. Like, you saw that little dash plaque on the emblem, the little emblem on the dash plaque, and you knew what it was. It was an IROC-Z, and it had that racing heritage to it. So I wanted to make sure that we built a car that lived up to the actual racing heritage that you could take to the track and really enjoy, but also had a lot of 3rd gen styling for it. So I'll start off with the 3rd gen styling. Right off the bat, we have a large stripe here. If you pay careful attention, we edged into the bumper to give that stripe the feel of a 3rd gen nose badge. So this is kind of the shape of the nose badge you would normally see on the 3rd gen here. We've incorporated it into the hood design. What's an IROC without louvers? Now, with our center section, we copied the Copo hood of the Camaro that they're doing right now. We brought it down a little bit so you can see out of it better, and of course we have our polycarbonate window to show off the Whipple supercharger. This starts us at 700 horsepower. That's our stage 1, starts us at 700 horsepower. We go to 900 for stage 2, 1100 for stage 3, all Whipple charged power. They make the biggest blower that you can stick under this hood, and it's amazing. We love these guys. Now, we added heat extractors because we didn't want to cover up that pretty blower with vents there to mimic the IROC louvers from the 85 to 90 cars, and they're extremely functional. Our Copo hood basically drops the IATs about 13 degrees because we bring air in to help push the air out the back. And with the heat extractors, we're expecting an IAT drop with a Whipple of 13 without a Whipple of 15 degrees. So then for the Camaro styling, we originally wanted to do headlight buckets, but we started seeing a lot of cars that had blacked out headlight buckets that didn't look so good, so we went full blackout. This was our homage to the 3rd gen's blacked out buckets. We did a full blackout in a matte charcoal finish. This car was originally Nightfall Gray Metallic. That's a 6th gen color, right? That's hybrid. So we did a satin version of that to just pay homage to what the car originally was. And then if you notice our grille area, we cut this out and shaped it so that it was more like a 3rd gen front bumper. You have your 2 large openings here that are reminiscent of the 3rd gen, but obviously modern styling. Even down to our winglets, a lot of people don't realize. We took ZL1 styling and we made these winglets. Now, the side profile of these winglets, I know it's not an IROC, so please don't give me too much garbage over it. I just love 3rd gens in general. So the 92 D28 ground effect shape, we kind of copied in here to just give a little more 3rd gen heritage. Of course, you have the rims. The rims, I photoshopped a lot of different IROC combinations into it, but it just didn't look right. And I knew that this Camaro was more popular than the race series, but the IROC wheels were way more popular than the Camaro even was. So I knew we had to hit the wheels out of the park. So I wanted something that was reminiscent of the old IROCs, but also said modern Camaro, because the entire idea of this car is that if GM were to bring back the IROC, what would they do? What would they pull out of their toy box to make it with? So I took ZL1 style wheels, design-wise, that normally taper out here, and I brought the taper in. I changed some line work here, I got rid of some stuff here, got my rendering done by Cars by Chris Horton, he's amazing. We took that rendering to factory productions and they got us these cars. These are forged 3-piece rims. They're extremely light, especially for 20 by 12 and 20 by 13 inch rim in the back. They are extremely light. And they're also making cast versions because the idea of this car as well is to make the best car we possibly can for whoever can afford it. But I also want entry-level packages for the average guy to buy an IROC. I want people to be able to buy the wheels and put them on if they want to. If you can only afford a shirt, you buy a shirt. If you can't afford a shirt, hit me up on 6LE, I'll send you a shirt. I want anyone who is as passionate about IROCs as we are to feel like they can own a piece of this. So our next stage was the wide body. Now you see a lot of wide body cars this year, and a big trend right now is Liberty Walk. The Liberty Walk style is bolt-on, pocket flares, and that's not anything that you've ever seen really done on Camaro. So the only wide body that has come from Camaro from the factory, not including the Dick Harrell cars that GMMG did in 2002, is the 1969 Camaro. A lot of people don't realize it, but the 1969 Camaro is a wide body compared to the 67 and 68. The way they achieved it was simple. They pinched the line and they pulled it out. So we try to mimic the same design. As opposed to our flares being huge here, they neck back in, so it gives it a much more chiseled factory look. The flares don't bulge out too much. And then here, mimicking the 69 body line, we take it back into the stock fender. So you don't have a really bloated fender, wide body, fat body look to it. It's more chiseled as if the factory. We did the same thing here. We did a 1969 style pinch line that we tapered it all back into the body and then brought it out. You'll notice our little curve here. A lot of cars just have this bulbous wide body. We brought it right back in so that it looks nice and factory. And if you notice over here, we retain the factory gas door. We do not retain the factory gas door styling. It's huge and round and ugly, but we retain the factory gas door. And the way we achieved that was not making a bloated wide body. We necked it right back in, because if you watch your clearances here, you've got about 1 millimeter. That's all we had to play with, but we got it on there, and she's beautiful. Of course, what is an IROC without a spoiler? And what do the third gens have but a 3-piece spoiler? I'm not a fan of the 1-piece. A lot of people make it that way because it's cheaper to mold it. 3 pieces means 3 molds, it's more expensive. For me, it looks more factory, it looks more finished. So we took a 3-piece spoiler, we put a modern notch inside of it, and we made sure to extend it all the way up the trunk line so that any model can use this spoiler. If you have an SS with the bolt holes, we covered your bolt holes for you. The 1LE spoiler stops here. We continued it all the way to cover all models. You don't have to do any trunk work, you just bolt it up. Every part that you see on this car is also available for any Gen 6 Camaro. The actual car is going to get vacuum bag carbon fiber, everything except for the doors. Vacuum bag carbon fiber trunk, vacuum bag carbon fiber spoiler, vacuum bag carbon fiber bumpers, everything. But we'll sell fiberglass versions for people to just bolt onto their cars, IROC-Z spoilers, IROC-Z hoods. The exhaust is going to be Borla. We did not get that in time. The diffuser for now is just a ZL1 style diffuser. We have another one in the works that we're making. Of course, we use GM tail lights because they're beautiful. We got the wheels again on this side. Our winglets. The main thing I try to do with this car is when I stared at this car for the first time in 2015 at the SEMA show, there was a lot of jigsaw puzzle lines on the car. So generally the Camaro has another line break here. The front of the fender normally have another jigsaw puzzle line there. Our idea was just to clean up the lines of the car, make it more consistent, make it flow a little better. So that's what we did with the ground effects. We have one line on the bottom of the ground effect, and then our fender comes all the way up and into it. And then just to finish that look, we CAD programmed our winglets to make sure that they followed our curves perfectly. Inside here is actually a turn signal. This is a smoked piece of acrylic. We're actually going to laser etch IROC-Z into it. Our laser lens just died right before the show. And on the front, just making sure again that this felt like it was something that was pulled from everything Camaro by GM. We really loved on the SS models the shape of the fender, but we really loved the front bumper of the ZL1s. So we wanted to incorporate the shape of the SS fender, and this is our new cutoff point that we got rid of all the jigsaw stuff with, of course, the ZL1 styling. Now, if you look at the front end, it looks very ZL1, but I promise you it's not. If you were to try to put this bumper, obviously it wouldn't fit, but the hoods and the lines would be totally different. We took the GM lines that normally stopped here and faded out, and I don't know if you can see in the video, but we just swooped them around. Just gave it more of a finished look, a little bit of a scallop to it, so that the styling elements felt like they weren't just kind of, oh, I forgot those lines were going somewhere, and now they don't. So this entire bumper, we retreaked every radius. These are all sharper than you find on ZL1 bumpers, and our molds are over sharpened so that when you get the part, it looks just like this. Please, 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 if I can give you any public service announcement, do not let your body guys use a DA sander when they're scuffing your parts. So we work really hard to make sure that you have nice sharp lines here. Body shops don't. They get lazy and they throw a DA sander over the top of it and it rounds everything out and you lose all of our hard work. So please don't do that. Just hand scuff it, watch your lines, it'll be good. So now let's get to the creme of the creme. Full glass roof, guys. So let me premise it with this. I am a huge T-top fan. My apologies to everyone who wishes that I made T-tops and I didn't. I swear to you, I tried to make T-tops for 8 months. I know the guys at Trans Am Depot, they do an amazing job. I know the guys at Drop Top Customs who first did the T-tops in the 5th gens in Florida. They all told me, don't do T-tops. They even offered their molds for us to use the T-tops. The reason being is, A, it's still fiberglass, so you can't see through it. Part of what I loved about my buddy's IROC was that I could look up through the glass roof and see the sky. Again, I love T-tops. My Grand National has T-tops. Every car I've ever had has T-tops. I thought about getting a sunroof for this car. I didn't want to get the sunroof because I really like the reverse mohawk that GM created in the metal roof. So there was no sunroof for me. I have a hard top. It feels like a bat cave inside. T-tops don't really fit the lines of the car necessarily, especially since it's really based off of a 1st gen car, not a 2nd gen or 3rd gen. So I thought to myself, what's the next best thing? Let's do a full glass roof. This was not possible a year ago. The guy who designed the roof for us, he used to own Metalworks. His name is Darren, and now he has his own glass company. He has 700 concept cars under his belt for automotive manufacturers. He's done concept cars for GM, for Audi. He's doing an amazing Volkswagen right now. And he says the only reason he was able to tool this was because of a thing he did for Audi last year where he learned a new process. So this glass has to get poured in with 3,000 pounds of ceramic and heated in an oven to 3,000 degrees. And a jig is created to press into it 9 different times for us to shape this. Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds easy. Melt the glass, press a jig in. The tricky part, the reason why no one else could do this, is there is distortion. So it's not just pressing the jig into it, it's making sure that you're melting it slowly, you're bending the glass where you want it to go, so when you look at it, it's crystal clear. You don't have any waviness, you don't have any distortion. On the top, it looks like a black roof, but as we let Lethal here inside, you shall see the sky. We do not have our headliner in right now because we're still passing our crash test safety for it. It needs to break away with the airbags. We just got approval for that today. We might have the headliner by the end of the show, but currently we do not have the headliner in the car. But if you look how crystal clear this glass is, there's no distortion, beautiful open sky. The UV protectant that's on here, you could sit in this car in July, eating ice cream, never drop it on the suede. You don't need a sunshade, you don't need anything. This stays super cool and it's great. We have Recaro seats for our red letter edition. Even adding the glass roof to this car, we come out about 60 pounds lighter than a ZL1. So the ZL1 uses thinner glass. This is for the red letter edition, we use a 1-piece. For the factory black letter editions, we use a 2-piece. It's slightly heavier. This glass only weighs 3 pounds over the metal roof. Pretty phenomenal. Of course, on the inside, we have the IROC-Z door sills. We have ZL1 style suede, we have the red stitching, we have custom gauge overlays. Our IROC ones are coming. These are the old carryovers from my car when it was an SS. We have the IROC-Z steering emblem. We have the dash black that gives you all the information, the horsepower rating, that's the prototype one, the amount of horsepower. And of course, what's an IROC without an IROC emblem on the dash? That was the coolest thing when I was in high school to just stare at. Right there, IROC-Z on the dash. Doesn't get better than that. And I think that's it, guys. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to gripe at me for putting a Mountain Dew on the seat when I first pulled in here, I had no idea that it was going to get picked up so quickly. I literally was just parking the car, and next thing I know, my phone's blowing up because you guys loved it, and that was amazing. And I guess it was very fitting that I was drinking Mountain Dew that morning, because what's an IROC-Z without a cold Mountain Dew in the morning to drink to go with it? So thank you guys for your time. Lethal's amazing. He's been a great friend of mine for a while, so please support his channel. Keep it going. We love what we're doing. I hope you understand that we didn't buy this name just so that we could take advantage of it. We bought this name because we wanted to see the car come back, and no one else was doing it. So I put everything I had. My wife did, my designer Albert did, our friend Johnny who worked on this car, our friend Josh who worked on this car, our friend James. We literally haven't slept till Thursday. We were finishing this thing through the night Saturday and Sunday, still working on it at the show because we love this car. So any comments you have, good or bad, let us know. But please understand that we love these cars. That's why we brought them back. And the big secret reveal for the Lethal channel. These cars start at $40,000. Of course, they'll go up to $100,000. More options means more money. However, for our top of the line ones, we have this in the works. We're going to have the ultimate car. It's going to cost a lot of money. We're thinking 150 to 250. It's probably going to be in the GT4R range. However, that car, you don't get to do anything to it but pick a color. We set it up. Our coilovers are made by Rennick Performance, specifically designed for this car. They have more travel than the ZL ones in the back. Rennick Performance did the sway bars for us. This car is set up to race. We have Willwood 6 piston brakes in the front, 4 pistons in the back. And the idea is that the owners of those cars get to come to us and race their cars in an IROC series. We're the first 12 guys who buy those cars, and we might stretch it to 50, but we're doing 12 for the first year to commemorate the original IROC series. Just like the Callaway cars, we'll get track time to practice, and they're going to take some laps, and we'll see who's the best IROC driver out there. So we love the car, we love the series. No one else is bringing it back, guys. So like, we just wanted to see it happen. So we stepped up to the plate. We hope you love what we did. We do. If you have any suggestions, we're going to keep making these things. We'll try T-tops next year. We've already got the glass roof. We might as well. We might try a target top. We can figure out somewhere to put it in the trunk because they don't really fit. But I love the car. I hope you guys do too. If you have any questions, post them on Matt's page. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll do another interview. We'll pull a free shirt. We'll give away a free shirt to the Lethal crew. So ask some questions, get your names in there, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at SEMA.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time. This car is beautiful. He's poured blood, sweat, and tears into this, literally. I've had literally the honor Mark had been sharing pre-production as he's literally grinding this thing down in his garage, building it, showing me little bits and pieces of the hood, of the fenders, of just everything. It's been an amazing process to watch and see it sitting here, SEMA 2017. It's impressive. Good job. So if you guys enjoy this content again or have any questions, post down below, smash that subscribe button. Likes, comments, shares are appreciated. But as always, if I don't see you in the next video or at the next event, I'll see you on the road.